Hi, Ray Hayden here, and in this video, I want to talk about OBS software. It's OBS 21.1.0. It's a 64-bit Windows version that I'm using here on the laptop, and you're not going to fix the image at all. It's a fuzzy camera. It's a really great computer, does a lot of good video editing, does a lot of good game playing if you wanted to, but it has a really horrible camera on it. But it's good for if you want to do a demonstration video or show somebody something on a computer or something like that, you can do it. If I take, you can't see it, but I'll show you what I'm doing here in a minute. I can make the image smaller, the image of me on here, and then you can see the background here. You see the forever mirror images back here. That's because what we're looking at is my screen. So you're looking at a screen and a screen and a screen. You got that mirror image all the way back. Then if I just take this red outline here and go to the upper right hand corner, I can resize my image and I can move it around on the screen as well. And that's where it's going to be on the final video recording. Now, if I want to have a little bit more control over what I'm doing and kind of get a better picture of it, it's going to have to look a little bit more confusing up front. Over here on the controls, if you slide down here, it says studio mode. If I click on studio mode, it's going to duplicate this screen and it's going to be a left and a right screen, giving me a preview and an output monitor, just like our video production studio might have, in kind of a lesser format, but you know it is. So let's hit the studio mode, and now we have it. Now in the middle here, we have transition, and we can have a fade or a cut, and transition kind of dissolves, and a cut is instantaneous. So let's look at the cut thing right here. I'm going to change the size of my image over here on the left-hand side. And you'll notice on the right-hand side, the image of me in the corner, which is the only thing I'm manipulating, is still small. But if I hit the cut, it pops up to the larger size. So let's put it back where it was, make it smaller again, and hit cut. Now, if I make it bigger again and I hit that transition button, I'm thinking it's going to cut. It should just jump there, and it did. So let's make it smaller again. We'll hit transition, right? And it'll jump back down to a smaller image. This is important stuff if we want to show other things other than open broadcaster software in the background. Let me hit the fade button here. All right, I just punched the fade button. And what that does is if you look under scene transitions, let's say I hit cut again, right? Down here under scenes transitions, it says cut. But if I go up here and touch the fade button up here, and I can do it down here too, all right, fade. And that's going to be a fade, and that's going to be a dissolve. So these are two places we can change it. We can click it up here, and this changes the cut. I got fade up here, 300 milliseconds or whatever. Click that, and down here it says to fade. And you can select your duration of how long you want it to take to fade into the new image. So let's slide up here and make this image bigger. All right, hit the transition button, and it fades in, and that's kind of a nice transition. And we go down here, and we can hit the transition button, and there, it's a nice dissolve. And then over here on the right is what your computer is recording as the final video output. But this is an important thing to be able to grasp, because what you can do here is, if I take this thing, it's the red highlighted image right here is me. If I take it and slide it off the screen like that, all right, then I'm still there. So I'm still on the image right here. But if I hit transition, I vanish. All right. So this is another important thing to do. If you're doing a live stream and you want to get rid of your image on the screen, you can use that technique or several others that I'm not really aware of. But if you want to put your image back on the screen so you can have your audience see you while you're playing a video game or talking or whatever, you can hit Alt-Tab or whatever it is on a Macintosh or whatever other system you have and bounce back and forth and manipulate your image. I can't manipulate anything over here on the right. I'm like clicking things on the right and nothing's happening. But if I click on the left, then I can move my image, like say from the left screen to the right, to the right side of the screen. All right. I can put myself up here in the top right-hand corner, transition. But you always have to hit transition. Okay. It's not like a live change right here. All right. Now let's go back and hit this studio mode down here in the bottom right-hand corner. You see everything lighting up down here. Tap on studio mode again. It's going to go to a single image. Now I believe here that when I touch things, I'm going to put myself in the bottom left-hand corner. It happened. It's like it just happened, all right? So I slide myself over to the right, and in the video, it should have recorded me actually dragging my image over to the right. Slide it up to the top right. Again, the video recording should have that live all the way through and over there in the top left. So any changes I make live to my image here, that's what's going to happen. And then let's go back to studio mode. where we put the 2 images on there, and let's take it up to full screen. It's full screen over here on the left, but not over on the right. So let's make it so this is what the video is recording, and hit transition. All right, so now I'm in full screen mode again. Let me take it down to the center of the screen just for funsies and hit transition, and there you have it. So, this is an interesting tool that we can use okay, that didn't happen. That's funny. All right, so I was just trying to play with something to see if I could just bounce it up to full screen real quick, but that didn't really work. So, but anyways, in playing around with the software, you can try different things and see what might work for you to help you get the job done on your videos. And I didn't go through really anything else. For me, for a live stream, things are live. Live TV is live TV, and you get what you get, and it's kind of interesting at times. But for video editing, like to use OBS software to do a video presentation, well, that's a different story. Things can work out really well. Let's do an edit on Google Earth, where we go ahead and let's use a Google Earth thing. I'll just show the state of Florida pretty much on Google Earth, right? So we're gonna look at the state of Florida on Google Earth, and the way to do that is I need to miniaturize my image over here. Now check this out. I'm gonna miniaturize the image to the bottom left, right? Hit transition, but we're not looking at Google Earth. We're looking at OBS software. So let me go ahead and change the screen to be Google Earth. Now what I'm looking at on my laptop computer is I'm looking at Google Earth Pro to be specific, but I'm looking at the state of Florida. I do not see anything in the bottom left-hand side of the screen, but you should see my image down here in this area. I have to check the video after the fact and see if that's it. But if we wanted to talk about like Lake Okeechobee here, or maybe the city of Miami down here, Cape Canaveral up here, maybe Tampa, St. Petersburg, maybe the Orlando area right here. And let's say we wanted to zoom in on something like Orlando International Airport. I just happen to know where it's at by looking at it on the satellite image, and there it is. Let's say we wanted to look, for example, at Jacksonville. This large waterway right here is the St. John's Waterway, and this grayish area up here is the city of Jacksonville. So let's go ahead and see if we can see anything interesting and exciting up here. Maybe we can, maybe we can't. I was trying to see, they used to have one of those SpaceX platforms docked over here, but I don't see it right now. Or maybe I'm in the wrong place. All right, see if we can find one of these things. No, maybe not. But anyway, so if we wanted to look at different things, we could, and we can zoom in and out and everything, and we can do a presentation basically with Google Earth or whatever software you wanted to use for your presentation. But to get ourselves on the screen, like my image should be down here in the bottom left, and Google Earth should be in the rest of the screen, that is one way we do it. So I really, and then maybe on the bottom of the screen, you should see I have a bunch of icons down here that should have come up, and that should have recorded into the video as well. And then we can bounce back and forth and look at different things that we want to look at. So now in your screen, you should be seeing Open Broadcaster software over, on the whole screen. And then my image should not have left the screen at any time during that video. So anyway, so with that, that's just a light introduction on how we can make use of OBS software to do presentations. And I've done a few over the years. I've done a couple of them. But it's just an interesting thing to be able to use the studio mode as opposed to the single mode where everything you do is live as it happens. You can use make it kind of a more professional image by rather than just moving things around. See, now I'm moving things around here on the left-hand side. Until I hit the transition button, nothing changes, all right? So with that, I hope you really got to play around with this stuff, in all honesty, to get it to work for you and to be able to accomplish what it is you're looking to do. But the transition button using fade and cut, which shows you down here what it is you're going to do. You have a microphone mixer. You can play with your desktop audio. For gamers, that's kind of an important deal. In your video capture device, you can select, if, for example, I had a higher quality external camera, this would be what I would want to use. All right, so that's a lot of information in a short amount of time, and we're only really talking about doing the transitions and some of the layout of Open Broadcaster software. If you have any questions, comments, kudos or complaints, make a note in the bottom, put the comments down there. Don't forget to subscribe and hit that like button. And until I catch you in the next video, take care and be well.